Hey guys, my name is Arcus, and today I'm bringing a very different video. This is going to be a challenge video, and the premise of this is you have to get a 10 kill death ratio for 10 games straight. Now there are a few rules to this which I'm going to go and explain. So first off, the map rotation that I did, and you're not required to do this, but there are a few rules when it comes to it. But I did canals, bridge, village, sub base, and then market. So you have to pick 5 maps, and you have to do each map twice. You also can't. You have to go in a specific order, so it has to be like within. You have to do all the 5 maps until you can do another one again, because I could just make the consecutive games streak longer by just doing like bridge twice and then sub base twice and things like that. And I feel like that can give you an overall bigger number without it really saying as much as it should. So yeah, so that's the rules when it comes to the map rotation. You don't have to do that set map rotation. That's not required, but that's what I picked to do in this video. So, by the way, this is a part 1 of a part 2 video. I recorded roughly 40 minutes straight of this, and I cut it down as much as I could. I think I cut it down to about 24 minutes. So now there are a few rules otherwise. First off, you have one game that you can fail. So you can not get the 10 KD on one game and you can keep going, but when you get it a second time, then that's it. So you either go 10 straight or go 10 out of 11, which is still really hard. So number 2, this would be extremely easy if we didn't have this in here, but you can't use the Beowulf 50 cal. It's not always good on all maps, but if you could do whatever the hell you wanted, you would just do bridge 10 games through with the Beowulf. That's why I put those rules in there, because otherwise this challenge really would be easy, and I just play bridge 10 times over, and that wouldn't really be a challenge, honestly, at least for me. And I know guys in Infested could definitely do that. So that is not allowed. Also, you can't use the same gun over and over again. You have to switch it up. You can't use what I'm using right now, the M16, over and over and over again. It's a good gun, and you can definitely use it a lot, but I would say try and use it a minimum of like half the time. Don't just use it over and over and over, because that's a little messed up, because it's also a very powerful gun. Switch it up. Go to a P90 or a scout gun or the Scar H, which I'm going to do next game. That's about it. So I'll just talk about canals now. We're on canals, and I'm gonna just talk about the tactics and everything and what I do on each map when I come to it. So on canals, the premise of your strategy is just going to be going and centering yourself around that waterfall. The waterfall gives you a sight of the majority of the map. That back alley isn't really used that much. So when it does go there, to the back alley, I would just recommend you find a good place that is a little secluded and that you can hit people in the hill from, because you'll need that line of sight, because it's not as easy in there. But when it's on a hill, which is on the main side, which is the majority of the time, all you really have to do is just maneuver around that waterfall and go from side to side and shoot and just watch your back. and it's a pretty easy strat, which is why I ended up going 38-0 on that game. So that was a very good start to it. I was very pleased. I just played really smart, and that's sort of the premise of playing on canals. Okay, guys, we are here on map number 2, playing on bridge. This is probably the easiest map to play on. It's pretty straightforward. There's 2 lanes, and you sort of just sit in the back and shoot at them, really. So because it was that easy, and because I didn't want to use the M16 and be super cheap, I decided to just play with a Scar H in it because it's still a very good gun, and it's something I'm a very big fan of the gun, but I don't think I've ever played with it in a video before. So I thought I'd just whip it out and see what I could do. So when you're playing on bridge, the strats are pretty easy. Like I said, you're just looking straight forward. There's only the 2 lanes, once again, like I said, and the hills are just sort of in the middle, sometimes in the back, but the majority of the time you can sit in the back comfortably and just shoot at anyone trying to go on to the hill. That's pretty easy way to get clips. The thing is, I like to have variation in the clips for my montages, so I don't always play on bridge, but it is a pretty good map to start going for sniper clips on. So if you're trying to practice that, I would recommend this map. But yeah, it's just fairly easy. Stay in the back, be smart, pick people off, and then just check the spawns to the side. Because on this part that we're at, by the way, I'm sorry if I'm lisping a little bit. I got my retainers in. Might be a little bit of a bad idea, but I think we're okay. But on this side, they can spawn to the right of you a little bit, but when you're on the opposite side, especially on this part of the map, because I'm on this, you get what I'm saying, on this side of the map, but I'm talking about left to right as in the sides, and on this one I'm talking up and down, or you get, god damn it, man. Well, you get the point. On the side that I'm on now, they spawn a lot more to the left of me than they do to the right of me, and on this side rather than the opposite side, meaning where the enemy players are right now. So when you're here, you should just check the spawns to the left, or you might get killed, but that's really all you have to worry about. That's why you see me going there. That's why you see me predict one of the people spawning right here, and I actually end up getting killed. But that you're gonna get backstabbed if you don't check it enough. But it's not something that'll hinder you that much. So yeah, the strats for and the strats tactics for this map are fairly easy. The problem is, and this goes really for any map, is that it's a lot harder to get the big kill streaks when you die. So on spawn, I went last time, I just went 38-0 flawless on canals. I just went 23 in a row. When you spawn, you're a lot more vulnerable. You don't spawn where you want to be, and that is one of the things that is a little bit of a problem with that. It's you can get killed pretty easy. That's why when there are enemies in front of me, I didn't engage them, because they're all clumped in that area. So if I went for that kill, I knew the chances of me dying were insanely high, and I basically definitely would have, and that would have killed the KD. So I just sat there in the subway train, and sort of just staked it out until the hill moved, and then I used those barriers in the subway train, because that's not something that gets shot at that often if you're being smart. Like, if you go from one end to the other going through there, you might get shot, but it's fairly, I guess you could say, fortified, and it's fairly secure. So it's very it's a good place to get out of if you're in a sticky situation. So that's that's one thing you have to be very wary of. You have to be cautious when you die and when you spawn back in. Okay, so I had a little glitch, but seeing the screen now, this is one of those perfect examples because I'm trapped inside of this little hut area, you could say, and I'm picking off the kills in a smart way where I can use that little crack to hit them up, but I know if I get out and try and cross, I'm going to get shot up and I'm going to die. So I was just being very cautious with what I did there, and then you can see me scanning the area and being smart. Of course, I end up dying, but the point stands that they're not usually going to be sitting there. So those are the strats when it comes to bridges or bridge. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys really like the concept of this challenge. So if you did, leave some feedback, and hope you enjoyed this video. Part 2 coming tomorrow. Peace out, guys.